Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Michaela Peters. I'm back, but I'm super jet lagged, so I'm kind of tired and spacey, so hopefully this video goes okay. I want to not completely neglect the English side of my channel, even though it is astronomically less popular than the Russian side, but I know that some people still watch it, so I decided to make a video about it. Although I did learn something from my aunt last week, which is that apparently my cousin probably watches my Russian videos with auto-generated subtitles, and I was like, I wonder how many people are doing that. I know the Russian people do that with my English videos. It probably doesn't work as well because I talk so fast in English. Yeah, that's actually a thing. Like, people who come from the Northeast have to do some sort of training to get themselves to talk less quickly, and because I work with people who are not just from the Northeast, a lot of times at work I get not criticized is not the word I'm looking for. I receive feedback, a lot of feedback about the fact that when I'm doing presentations, I need to talk more slowly. I have a lot of factors working against me, aside from the fact that I live near New York City, but like the ADHD thing, like it's just like my brain is simply working faster, or at least like the language processing part, which actually makes sense considering like that languages are easy for me. But if I'm speaking another language, it tends to slow me down because I have to think a little bit more about what I'm saying. And I speak significantly faster in Russian at this point than I used to. It's just the fact that the words are harder for me to pronounce slows it down a little bit. Like, ugh, thank God I don't speak both completely fluently. That'd be a little bit scary, probably for the Russian side. It was actually really funny when I was at the beach in Hawaii. I heard these like kids talking to each other in English, and they'd randomly say crap in Russian and like blah blah my towel in Russian or something. I'm like, oh, what? Like, or come over here, and then the whole rest of the conversation is in English, and I was like, interesting. Because I guess they feel more comfortable talking to each other in English, but then if they just like forget, I don't know, like it's just like, it's weird to me because I'm used to having like certain people I speak to in English and certain people I speak to in Russian. I don't just like mix them together that often unless I like specifically can't remember a word. But yeah, so whatever. That's all my random long ranty intro, as usual, for about 2 minutes. Makes sense. So in this other video that I did in Russian, I just showed a bunch of the fun stuff that I bought. I don't really want to completely repeat that. I just want to talk about how the vacation was in general. I don't know, but this is like a little pineapple thing, which I'm going to decorate my new apartment with. Gift for my sister. I'm just trying to show the highlights. Some rock I stole from the beach. Maybe I'll decorate with that too. Okay, that's enough. So just to talk generally about the trip, like it was cool. I'm glad I went. It's just like not really like my style of vacation, as my one friend had said to me. And thinking back, and I talked about this in the Russian one, it's just like I would go skiing every year and I would go to the beach every year, and like I tend to like the skiing part better. So maybe I'm just like a weirdo who likes snow. Like I came back to New Jersey and I walked outside and it was cold and there was snow and I felt like a sense of relief, like a weirdo. But that's how it is. Even though when I was in Hawaii and I was like, in the water, now I'm like swimming and I'm like, this is really nice. Like I look forward to doing this in the summer. Like, yes, that's true. But at the same time, I'm still enjoying the cold weather. And there were a lot of things like I was trying to explain to my mom. Like one of the things I don't like about like places that are warmer is, with the exception of Texas, probably because no offense to Texas, it is a pretty ugly place to live. Lots of strip malls and concrete. Most hot places people want to live, and it drives the cost up of everything, which I'm cheap and I don't like that. The other thing is it brings a lot of people, which sensory overload for me. So those are the reasons why I don't really like very warm, nice places. It was also just like kind of a very like, it felt very exclusive to like people who were married with 2.5 children. I'm going to say 2.5 because I've never seen so many pregnant women all in one place in my life. So there's the 0.5. It's not born yet. I don't know. So like we did a couple cool things, and I really wanted to make videos where like I show more of this and it's like a lot more structured, but I just want to give like a high level overview of like my thoughts and feelings and like what I did and like how I feel about it. We did whale watching, which was really cool. We went to the aquarium, which was really cool, and then we also went to a luau thing, which was really cool. So I liked those things, the actual activities we did. The reason I went was like for my friend's wedding, and that was really nice and beautiful, and I'm like really happy for her, and it was like the wedding of her dreams and stuff with her dream man and all that, and she really had a nice time and was happy I was there to support her. So I was happy about that I had the honor of doing that, so that was really cool. Oh, I got something in my eye. Okay. Oh, yeah, because I started crying about it, you know. Okay. But anyway, so I'm trying to think what else, like, I even did. We went to the beach a couple days because it's just, like, how me and my mom are, where we're just like, you know, we're all the way out here, but we're still just going to go to the beach. Um, yeah, I haven't spent that much time alone with my mom in a really long time. We did fight a little bit, not gonna lie about that. It was a little bit rough at the beginning. Then all of a sudden she just calmed down and left me alone after we spent some time apart. So that's why, you know, I always say if you need a break, it's really important to ask for that. And I need to get better at doing that because I do get annoyed with being with people all the time. It's really a lot for me sometimes. That's kind of what I like. Maybe that's what I like about Finnish people, where it's like you don't have to be talking all the time when you're around Finnish people, and that like gives me that break. So you don't really get that with Americans all the time, especially not my grandmother. Like we were talking about this when we went to Iceland, where my brother's like, my grandmother's just talking all the time, and it gets really hard for my grandfather to like decipher what's important. So like she's like, why aren't you answering me? And it's like, well, because it's like one of your many things you're saying. Like how is she supposed to know that was like one of the things she was supposed to respond to? So to be fair. Okay. I'm trying to think what else generally. We tried to do this road to Hana thing yesterday, and yeah, I barely slept since then, so that would explain a lot. And it was just, oh my God, like I was driving and I thought I was gonna throw up. It was so windy. It was scary, honestly. Like I was getting a little bit scared, and it reminded me of the time that we were in Malta, and my uncle who, well, I was telling my mom, like my uncle when he's in the Dominican Republic does drive and stuff like this. Like I've been on these kinds of roads, and there was this time when we were in Malta where like the roads were so narrow and it was like that like zigzag like in a mountain, and it was like him and like four passengers. It was like my grandparents, me, and my aunt, and like we thought we were gonna die. Like all of us were like so scared, and then he was like, that's fun, let's go again, and all of us are like, let me kill myself. Like this was so scary that I may as well be dead. Like oh my God, like it was just I'm wondering if I'm not allowed to say that on YouTube. Maybe I'll edit that out. Okay, whatever. So yeah, it was just, it was really a lot. It was a lot of work. And we were trying to find these rainbow trees, and we passed them on the way there because we got distracted by like 5 cop cars. Who the heck knows what they're doing? I still don't know. And then we saw them, so we pulled over and took pictures real quick, and then we went back, and then we didn't really have time for like the this like a waterfall, which was really the reason why I was driving all the way over there, but whatever. It was just like we had to check out the hotel, and we still had the car rental, so I was like, let's just do this today, even though, you know, we didn't get to go to the beach and stuff, even though that's what my mom wanted to do. I was like, okay, well, we did go every other day, let's do this. So she cooperated with what I wanted to do, because the whole rest of the trip, after she was like, I want to stay in the Airbnb, I was like, then you have an opinion about what you want to do, because I'm done having opinions. Okay, I'll do anything. Also, I don't really care. I was like, if I was here by myself, I probably wouldn't even be doing any excursions because I'm cheap. But yeah, Hawaii was super expensive. I'm just not a bougie person like that. So it's like really not my style of vacation, aside from the fact that I live next to the beach. So I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Like my one friend really liked it, and she like used to live where I live, and then she moved. So I kind of get it, but at the same time, I also kind of don't get it. I don't know. There was a lot of good food. They have ube. I was explaining that. Like, ube seems to be more prevalent in the west part of the US, not so much in, like, where I live. So, there was this ube coffee. I had every morning. I wish I could still have it. I wish I could figure out how to make it. I might try to do that, honestly. Like, the best moment of my life every time I drank that coffee. Trying to think of what else. My mom really likes to blast the air conditioning when we're sleeping in the hotel room. TBH was not a fan of that. I brought just enough clothes. I really do hate living out of a suitcase sometimes. But yeah, I was just like, I had this realization while I was swimming that I would be pretty happy probably living in this apartment near the beach. So that made me a little bit calmer. Took me a few days to calm down because of not working and not being with my computer, because I'm just a workaholic like that. And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm really looking forward to going to work tomorrow, said no one ever. Like, I was thinking about my one coworker on my team. She's like, oh, I wish I just had enough money to not work. And I'm like, no, man, I'm the weirdo who I would just keep working even if I was a millionaire, because I can't not work. It just drives me crazy. And, like, I'll see people now who are like, you know, I'm going to be a mom and I'm just going to stop working. And I'm like, I'm going to go crazy alone with a baby. No, like, I'm not doing it. I don't know. So yeah, the not working thing very hard. So I'm very excited to return to work tomorrow, get some stuff done, be on the computer. I don't know, maybe like also like the ADHD brain thing really just likes the computer. I think that's it, because I'm like, you know, there's like all these things going on at once. It's like switching tasks. I don't know, I just love it. Like, honestly, I don't know. I'm trying to think about what else to talk about without getting like super into the weeds here and being like, I did this on this day and I did this on this day, because I want to put together more photos and stuff and show that. But I just want to give like, again, a high level overview of like, it went pretty like okay. Like, I mean, it was cool. I'm glad I went. I'm glad I was able to support my friend. I'm glad I got to spend time with my mom and all that. I wish it wasn't so expensive, but this is also why I'm generally on a campaign against traveling within the US. I also, like I said, find it laughable that Americans can be pretty afraid of traveling to other countries, when in reality, it's probably safer traveling in other countries than in the US, but it's just like hotels in the US are really expensive, and you like have to have a car, and you have to do a car rental. I didn't do a car rental when I was in Colorado, and it kind of sucked, and then I was using public transportation, and it was like a little bit scary. Well, I didn't think it was scary, but other people did. And then somebody told me they got robbed using public transportation at gunpoint. And I was like, well, thank God that didn't happen to me. That would have sucked. I did feel bad for her, though, not gonna lie. Yeah, so, yeah, car rental. There was like this weird rush hour at 5 o'clock, and I'm like, I know none of these people are working, so like, why do all these tourists decide 5 o'clock is the rush hour? Because where I was staying was like predominantly tourists, to my knowledge. I could see this as being a fun vacation for families, or people who like hiking, which me and my mom didn't really feel like doing, so we were more of the like families minus the 2.5 kids. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was fine. Like, I'm not sure. Like, I try to think about, like, what are my favorite vacations I actually like. Honestly, it's, like, going to Armenia and Kyrgyzstan and seeing my friends. Like, I had to really think about it. But I had a really interesting conversation with this one girl when I was in Iceland. That's a whole nother video in itself, because that was a very interesting conversation. But she's from Ukraine, and she was telling me that, like, because, you know, I do forget that this is, no, I don't really forget it, but, like, she's telling me about her experience growing up, where it was like, oh, you have to get married young and have kids young and all this. I'm like, no, I know, like, Russian people are like that. I mean, yeah, it's, like, similar culture, you know, despite, you know, what people want to say about that, but it is post-Soviet. So I'm, like, very afraid at this point to, like, go back to Kyrgyzstan and Armenia without, like, a kid and a husband, just because I just, like, don't feel like dealing with that. So I'm gonna wait on those, to be honest with you. Although that's not why I was supposed to go to Armenia, and then I have all these in-person classes, and I was like, crap, so I'm just probably gonna skip that. Yeah, so I've got, like, one trip coming up, and then I have my classes, and I move, and that's, like, everything. So I do feel, like, a little bit refreshed that I was off my computer for a week, even though I'm happy to be reunited with it, really. I don't know. Like, it was cool. It was an experience. I probably need to take a nap before I'm going to do anything productive today, to be honest with you. And that's it. So I'll try to get these uploaded, because, like I said, I know a lot of people were, like, missing me so much. I'm sorry. Like, I'm saying that kind of sarcastically, but it's like, I know it's actually true, so, like, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I did lose 20 subscribers who couldn't hold their horses for me for the 2 weeks. They're not loyal. So, there was that. But, yeah, I mean, I do feel like I'm in, like, a slightly better mood, but as soon as I came home, I was like, I want my dog and I want my bed. I also hope Diesel doesn't die, but I'm afraid he's going too soon, and that's also kind of stressing me out. Life be like that sometimes. Alright, so I'm going to leave it there. I'm getting very ranty and try to think of other things to talk about. I feel like I had some questions that I needed to answer on the English side, and then the Russian side, I just kind of want to show more of what I did on the Hawaii trip, and maybe if it's by popular demand, I'll bring that to the English side. We'll see, but since people apparently watch all my videos with auto-generated subtitles, it doesn't really matter. I do know that YouTube does not necessarily like when you do the same video in both languages, so I try to, like, not do that, because it, like, messes with your monetization somehow. So yeah, that's kind of it. Alright, well, I'm gonna get these uploaded, and I'm gonna take a nap, and then I'm gonna try to clean this monster of a room and do all my laundry, and that's it. I'm gonna do nothing today because I need to. I'm tired. All right, so until tomorrow, I guess. Bye.